Hey, luck is a luck.
Hey guys, it's Midnight Philosopher and I'm here with another CX5, but this time it's the KIK cylinder version of what I believe to be the most current version of the CX5 line. With this specific version of the lock, there exists a pretty serious design flaw that I wanted to highlight in this video. And this design flaw I believe is prevalent across all CX5 KIK cylinders. In order to take advantage of it, all we have to do is take a thin pick, lift all the key pins up as high as they can go with the back of it, then apply bottom of the keyway tension, and then slowly release the tension while listening to those key pins dropping. Now that I've heard a lot of key pins dropping, I'm just going to be very careful just to get to that point. That click indicated to me that all of the key pins have dropped and all of our driver pins are now set. If we didn't have a sidebar in this lock, it would already be open, but since we do have a sidebar, I have to push all of the sliders into the right position. So I'm going to start by pushing them all downwards. And then I'm going to take my dimple pick and start manipulating these side pins one by one. And the lock is open, just like that. And it's pretty bad that that is a thing. And let's take this lock apart so we can see why that is a thing. So in order to take it apart, I'm going to get my gutting tool. Take off this screw plate from the back. Now we're going to open it. Get my follower. Push it all through. I'm going to leave the top part there. Get this sidebar out. And the springs. Oh, I'm already dropping key pins. Those sidebar springs are not being very friendly. Use my pick to get them out. There we go. 1 and 2. Then we'll get these key pins out. I'm just gonna see if I have the right order there. Is that right? Yeah, that was right. So that was 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Make some space for the sliders as well. Take the key pin out, or I mean the key, what am I saying? And then get these sliders out. Okay, that's 5. 4. Sorry, there we go. 3, 2, and 1. I'm gonna put the plug here, start taking these driver pins out. 1. Now if you look carefully, you'll notice that these driver pins are hollow with springs sticking out of the back. The springs can come out, but this is where things start to become more clear with our mystery as to why we are having this problem. Number 6 and number 5. Oops. Alright, I'll do a quick little close-up here for you to see everything. We have all of our gin spools from slots 1 to 6, and we have our plug with matched counter milling. Sorry about the focus, there we go. And we can see all of those sliders there with the true gates and the false gates. Now, why did we have that problem? The problem exists because the diameter of these driver pins are larger than the diameter of the key pins. And in order to understand how that makes this a thing where we can pick the lock in the way that I did, we can take a look at this little diorama. Let me give you guys a bit of a closer look at these driver pins first. You can see that they're hollow, and I believe that that's part of the reason why the diameter is slightly bigger. At least that's one of the things that I've read from other people. And it makes it so that these pins are bigger than these ones. Now I put together a little, zoom out a little bit here. I know it's not the prettiest thing in the world, but a little diorama in order to demonstrate what is going on here. Oops, sorry. We have our plug, and we have the lock, we have our driver pin, and we have our key pin. Typically we want our driver pin and our key pin to be the same diameter so that when we push them up, they'll be balanced in how they act. With a gin spool, what happens is you push up on the key pin, and what's supposed to happen is we have this counter milling in the plug right there, and it should catch into that section of the gin spool. You'll get a slight rotation of the plug, but then you're going to be stuck. The only way to become free is by manually manually counter rotating the plug back, and then you can set this pin up. And if you want to see me pick the lock normally in that way, you can see that in my last video. But what happens if we have a driver pin that is smaller diameter than the key pin? The opposite of the problem in this lock. Now that's also not good from a lock security perspective, but from a picker's perspective it's not bad at all. You'll get a slight rotation of the core, you'll start setting that pin, it'll go up nicely, and you'll get stuck right at that point, preventing you from oversetting the key pin or making it very hard to do so. So basically the bigger difference there is between the key pin and the driver pin, where the key pin is bigger, then it'll be harder to overset that. But when we change the order around, where we have a bigger driver pin than key pin, which is the problem we have with this lock, what we can do is we can actually overset everything. And then now the pressure from the spring is pushing it all back down. We have tension on the plug, and it will allow the key pin to drop because the key pin is a small enough diameter that it can fall into here nicely, but the driver pin gets stuck. And now we have achieved a picked state without even activating the counter milling or the security feature of that pin. So, oops, sorry, bumped the mic there, but that is essentially what we are dealing here with this lock. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and take care. Have a nice day.